thanks for clicking on this video. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon and turn on all notifications to keep up to date with the latest information and discussions. Oh dear. Might this what if then begin some internal and external screaming? Hey guys, MasakoX here. Now I think it's quite safe to say that in the world of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, the concept of time travel is quite a muddled affair. It was kinda like that in Z, but we forgave that, but when it came to Dragon Ball Super, it got to the point where it was just going, okay, yeah, this is getting annoying now. It got so annoying that the makers of Super had to actually put up an official timeline on their website, and when it gets to that point where the official makers have to try and explain it to you via a chart, you know that you've done something wrong and that your audience just does not actually understand it and does not find it intuitive. So I think it's safe to say that Future Trunks was the cause of all of this, but we can actually forgive the chap because he's a nice guy and he meant well. He didn't mean to cause all of this time travel confusion. But I think it's needless to say that in the video games, Future Trunks does cause a lot of mistakes, which has become a bit of a trope in the game world of Dragon Ball, hasn't it? And this scenario comes from a suggestion by one of my followers on Twitter, Crew on the Sofa, thank you very much by the way, who supposed this idea, which at first I was a little bit hesitant to do, but as I was writing this script, I felt, oh okay, yeah, this is actually kind of fun. This may be quite an interesting scenario, but not necessarily for the hero of time. That scenario being, what if Trunks met Kid Bulma? Instead of ending up in age 764 like he does in the original story, the time machine working somehow without any problems whatsoever, I feel that this untested machinery would end up glitching out somewhat. It still goes back in time, but it doesn't go back to the time that he's expecting. And especially since the concept of time travel was really new to people on planet Earth, especially when you're in the middle of fighting two androids. Okay, let's picture the scene. Trunks and future Bulma are just about ready to use the time machine for the very first time. Bulma, seemingly, has actually programmed the time machine to go back to age 764 around the time when Mecha Frieza is about to arrive on Earth, so that means future Trunks can come in, do his slashy and look really cool and provide the warning to the guys, as well as providing the all-important heart medicine, so that means Goku in that timeline has the potential to survive. Everything seems to be functioning normally, causing no complaints or no concerns whatsoever, so people don't bat an eyelid. Bulma and future Trunks just carry on doing their thing. A calibration error has occurred. The actual timeline and the year calibration on the machine is a bit out of whack, but it's not something overt, so Trunks doesn't really notice this when he's in the cockpit. I feel that Trunks is really desperate to get moving and get back to the past, that means he can do his thing. This is something that a young tempestuous boy, because in the history of Trunks he's proven to be rather desperate and tempestuous, this is just natural for the young teenager. During the actual traveling part through the dimensional portals or whatever it is, Trunks is not really noticing anything different or anything like that. He's thinking now he's going back to age 764. All he has to do is just pluck up the courage to face off against Mecha Frieza, as well as keep his composure, so that means he can deliver the message to the Z Fighters in a rather assured and measured way, instead of bumbling around like a teenager that he actually is. Little does he know that he's going to need all the composure that he can muster. The time machine then plops out of the ether and onto planet Earth. However, something's a little odd here. There's mountains here, and there's too much greenery for the area that he was expecting to end up in. Is this right here? Well, in any case, Trunks has realized that fuel is a bit of a premium here. They only have enough for one round trip because Trunks thought that's all they need. Trunks takes a look at the computer, a little bit suspicious about what's going on, and wishes to check the time period that he's actually landed in, expecting age 764, but due to the error that we supposed upon before, the computer spits out age 764. He breathes a sigh of relief though, because okay, he's in the right year. Okay, yeah, the GPS may be a little bit knocked out of whack, so maybe he has to travel a little bit further than he's expecting, but that's no matter, because Trunks can easily fly. He exits the craft and then locks the ship, making a note on his little communication device, which he does have because he managed to point out the exact destination about where he needs to be meet Goku. Not seeing anyone else around him for seemingly miles, not even any wildlife, he flies up into the air trying to get a better view, and notices there's an actual ridge or what seems like a road. He decides to stop on this flat bit of ground and just take in the view, and realizes for the moment, wow, this is probably the most peaceful area I've ever been to. Because remember, Trunks was coming from a period where conflict was rife. So this moment of peace and contentment, this is brand new. So Trunks is just taking this all in and not really noticing his surroundings. He turns around and spots a very scared looking young girl next to a Renault 5 Turbo, carrying seemingly what looks like a dragon radar, or what he thinks he is based on what he saw in Bulma's drawer, because remember, in that time period it wasn't being used because no Earth Dragon Balls. Why would this girl have a dragon radar? Capsule Corp people are only supposed to know about this. What's going on? What he's got to deal with is a very scared young girl who then decides to flip out and get really angry, or really surprised, and just going, "You! How did you get up here? How can you fly?" He apologizes for scaring her, but this young girl is seemingly still quite guarded at the situation, asking again how this young man could fly, because she didn't see any jetpack on him. Trunks again reiterates that he is not there to hurt her, and decides to break the ice in the only way that he can think of right now, and goes, "Hey, is that a dragon radar?" How does this guy know about the dragon radar? Only a few people within Capsule Corp, including herself, know about it. Is this guy from the Red Ribbon Army trying to take away intel from them? Well, he doesn't seem that way. He's not being militant because that's the way they usually act. And he's wearing a jacket with the Capsule Corp logo on it. Maybe he's one of those interns or something like that. Oh well, he doesn't seem to be that hostile, and hey, besides, he's actually kind of cute. Bulma relaxes a little bit because she finds Trunks extremely attractive. Remember, this Bulma at this age is quite reliant on good looks. Bulma then asks Trunks what his affiliation is with Capsule Corp and where did he get the jacket. And, Trunks then responds saying, oh, his mother's quite high up in the organization, and this jacket was just something that she made for him. Bulma doesn't really ask any more questions and just assumes that the high-up mother in the organization is probably one of those executives that she sees at daddy's business meetings or something like that. She doesn't really pay much attention to those meetings and just, accepts this thing as a rule. She then decides to get quite cozy and get to know this boy by offering him a lift back to Capsule Corp, even though he can fly, but on the one condition that they go and try and find the Dragon Balls along the way. He reckons that it should be alright. He can't sense Mecha Frieza's energy at this point. It's not even close. And also, so long as she doesn't realize his name or anything like that, he won't cause any time paradoxes, or at least he hopes not. He just got here a little early. Maybe the timing mechanism was off. Oh, Trunks. It was more than just a little off. In the car, there is a bit of an awkward silence, and Trunks accidentally drops a ball and introduces himself by a name. Oh dear. He is not used to awkward silences, so I think he would have blurted this out without realizing it. Bulma then finds this name rather fitting, and actually kinda cute. She then states that fact to Trunks, flirting with him a little bit, and Trunks blushes profusely. He doesn't know that this is his mother right now. And besides, he's not used talking to girls, because remember, the only kind of female contact, regular female contact that he has is his mother in the future, as well as Android 18, which realistically does not count. Trunks then asks her name, and she is stunned that he wouldn't know this fact. You don't know my name, and you work here? It's been blazoned on my chest. It's Bulma. Bulma is pointing to her chest in a very suggestive way, and Trunks at this point is going, hey, focus on the road here, because remember, they're on a mountain pass. But then it hits him. What? This girl is Bulma. She works at Capsule Corp. Yeah, green hair. Oh dear. Okay. But how? She shouldn't be this young in age 764. And then, where are the others? Where are Piccolo, Gohan, the rest of the Z Fighters? He is met, unfortunately, with a blank expression, with Bulma assuming that these are other employee friends of his. Trunks then frantically asks, hey, what year is this? And Bulma's just going, are you really dumb right now? It's age 750. The boy is looking really panicked right now, and he's actually really frustrated with himself. Not only has he now wasted a round trip, which is going to take months to try and refuel, because remember, fuel's at a premium here, he's now in danger of causing a paradox because this girl knows his name, he knows her name, and the way she's acting? Oh, this can't be good. Trunks is then trying to frantically fix this, but then just has to sigh. There's no going back now. He's done all the damage he possibly could. The only thing that he has to really rely on now is that the time machine is safe, no one else can find it, and he just needs to get back as soon as possible. The car is hurled onto its side, with Trunks and Bulma poking out of the car door, spotting Goku in a very defensive position. Trunks then recognizes the young boy and sighs. Oh, that's Goku, alright. The hair is a right giveaway. He's already caused enough damage by being here, but he's not disappeared right now, so, he's not changed the future yet, so maybe this thing's okay. Maybe he hasn't caused any damage, and really it would be rude to just suddenly disappear. Bulma then fires at Goku in retaliation, but Trunks is fast enough to actually catch the bullets with his hand. Goku is amazed by this and asks Trunks where he learnt to do that. Trunks then casually says, "Oh, my master Gohan taught me." Ah, crud. Fortunately though, Goku confuses this Gohan for Grandpa Gohan. Whoa, Grandpa had another pupil I didn't know about? That's so awesome! They should go back to his house so that means they can have lunch and he could maybe teach him some other tricks. As Trunks is beginning to get his story straight, trying to not cause any more damage, Bulma then spots the Dragon Ball in the house, asking whether she can have it or not. We then get the thing in the original with Bulma trying to convince Goku to join them on their mystical adventure, with Trunks along in tow. When they begin their journey, they are met by the same angry and hungry pterodactyl, which Trunks subdues almost instantaneously. Goku doesn't get a chance. The next day, they meet the sea turtle, which we are all familiar with, who cannot get back to the sea on his own. Trunks then politely volunteers to actually fly the turtle out there instead of them carrying it all that way. Goku is surprised even more. He knows how to fly? Not even Grandpa taught him that. He wants to know too and see it in action. Trunks hovers off the ground for a little bit, demonstrating this to Goku, but then they are accosted by the bear thief, which Goku takes down this time. And Bulma is now really surprised and relieved that she is now accompanied by two strong boys, one of them being particularly her type. Maybe she doesn't need the Dragon Balls for the perfect boyfriend after all. After that's done, Trunks then flies the sea turtle, Goku and Bulma all the way to where they need to go. When they get there, Turtle points out the island beneath them and Trunks begins to realize that this island's a little familiar. The three then land, and then the dragon radar begins to go off the charts, Bulma then realizing that there is a Dragon Ball here. Oh boy, this is even more useful! Trunks introduces himself and his two friends, whereas Roshi is being easily distracted by the young Bulma. But fortunately, Bulma has a defensive mechanism by actually clinging onto the arm of Trunks, stating that this young man is her boyfriend, which Trunks is really scared about and going, "Oh no, oh no, 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 no." Roshi finds this rather cute. Oh, this teenager can best the Master Roshi? Let's try and prove that theory. Roshi is goading Trunks even more by being really suggestive about his girlfriend. So Trunks then attacks Roshi with all that he has, sending Roshi a couple hundred meters out to sea with a really huge punch, stunning everybody, including Roshi. And once Roshi is able to swim back to shore, he is impressed immensely. And not to mention a little bit scared. And once Bulma states the fact that there is a Dragon Ball here and that she would like it, Roshi does not hesitate by giving them the Dragon Ball. Okay, this punk has proved his worth. Okay, don't hit me again. And besides, he might want to actually try and keep this boy on his side because this could potentially be a very interesting pupil, and he could take all the credit and win all the tournaments and all the prize money. Ooh boy. He then decides to actually try and endear himself to the group by then saying, "Ah, young man, you might be worthy of having my flying Nimbus. Would you like it?" And the flying Nimbus is then summoned and brought down, but Trunks says that he doesn't need it because he can fly, so maybe Goku could have it. And Goku gets on it, he's able to fly around on it, and Roshi goes, "Oh yeah, that's good too." Trunks then begins to smile. He's actually really getting endeared to this world and simplistic life. No conflict or anything like that, no bad guys yet. And yeah, he could stay around for a little bit longer, so long as Mecha Frieza doesn't show up for any long time, which is guaranteed because this is age 750 after all. And nothing bad's happening, so maybe multiverse theory isn't so bad after all. And that's where we're going to leave things for right now. So what do you guys think? Do you think Trunks is actually going to affect the story? Do you think his persona fits in the time of the early days of Dragon Ball? Leave a comment below and let's get this discussion going. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out the information about the unlocked event coming up at Anime Milwaukee. I'll leave a link to it pinned down in the first comment, and just enjoy that. So until next time guys, be sure to like and subscribe. Catch you later!